My sister Ray, she brought Will to my attention, and she was like, "You should do the movie with Will." And so I called Will, and we set up a dinner, and Will came to my house.
And Martin brought me in.
Oh, okay.
Right? So,
That's dope.
yeah, they wanted him to do it with Eddie. And, you know, Martin's sister was like, "You should do that with Will."
Martin Lawrence is the guy that showed everybody you can make it from DC to Hollywood. And I had a personal stake in his success. Every time he did something, it made me feel inspired and really good.
Picture this, a wild twist in pop culture history where Saturday Night Live stars Dana Carvey and Jon Lovitz were picked to headline Bad Boys instead of Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. Sounds totally bizarre, right? Even Will Smith thinks so. He once said the world would have been a little less spicy without Bad Boys in it. When the original Bad Boys dropped in 1995, it flipped the script for both Smith and Lawrence, launching them from sitcom kings into full-blown Hollywood action stars. Smith, coming straight off the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, brought the swagger as loose cannon bachelor Mike Lowry. And Lawrence, he was the loud, no-nonsense family man Marcus Burnett, already killing it as the lead on Martin. These two didn't just play Miami cops, they became them, trading wild insults, diving into gunfights, and lighting up the screen from the very first scene. And now, all these years later, Bad Boys, Ride or Die, the fourth chapter, takes that bond to a whole new level.
Bad Boys trailer is coming out.
Right now.
Right now. Right now.
Yeah, right now.
But hold up, there's a third name that almost changed everything. Eddie Murphy. Yup, the Eddie Murphy was Martin's original pick for the co-lead. Can you believe it? Martin actually wanted Eddie by his side for the big screen breakout. But Murphy passed on the gig, and that's when Will Smith swooped in and grabbed the spotlight. Martin recently opened up about how it all went down during a Q&A with Smith while promoting Ride or Die. He explained why Eddie didn't join the project and how he knew Smith was the perfect guy to ride shotgun. A lot of fans know Bad Boys exploded onto the scene in the mid-90s, but what most don't realize is that it was Martin who got the offer first.
My sister Ray, she brought Will to my attention, and she was like, "You should do the movie with Will." And so I called Will, and we set up a dinner, and Will came to my house.
He was the one Sony approached to carry the film. That's when Martin finally spilled the tea. His first pick to be his Bad Boys partner was none other than Eddie Murphy. And the reason it didn't happen? Simple but real. He cost too much, Martin laughed. He had a movie deal locked in with Sony, and they handed him the project asking if he wanted to roll with it. All he needed was the right co-star. And while Eddie was the dream pick, the price tag was just too high. So who came in and snatched the spot? Yup, Will Smith, and according to Martin, that move couldn't have worked out better. In a clip from Funny Marco's YouTube channel, Martin said he knows he chose the perfect guy for the job, and guess who helped seal that decision? His sister. She was the one who told me, "You should do it with Will. Two sitcom stars teaming up on the big screen. That could be something special," Martin said. And just like that, he called up Will for dinner. 5 minutes into the convo, Martin was sold. "Will's the best salesman ever," he said. "I couldn't say no." And boom, Bad Boys was born. But get this, even though it started off as Martin's movie, it's Will Smith who ended up cashing the bigger checks. That's right, in the early days, it was Martin holding the power. Back in 1995, Martin the Show was a smash hit, and Will was still that rising star from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's why Martin actually got paid more for the first film.
Well, you know, if I recall correctly, the last couple dead bad guys belong to you. Please, you ain't even trying to compare body counts.
While the original Bad Boys had critics split, the sequel, Bad Boys 2, was roasted even harder. Critics weren't loving it, but fans kept showing up. And by the time Bad Boys for Life hit, the audience response flipped. People were all in. That's what led Sony to say yes to another round, bringing us the newest chapter, Bad Boys Ride or Die.
Hey! Oh, come on, man.
And just for a wild throwback, don't forget, the OG plan from producers Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer was to cast Dana Carvey and Jon Lovitz as the leads. Imagine that twist in the timeline. After a few rounds of casting shakeups, the Bad Boys script finally landed in the hands of two black leads, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. At the time, Martin was the king of comedy with his hit show Martin lighting up TV screens everywhere. Will, on the other hand, was still riding the wave of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, no doubt about it. Martin was the bigger name back then and the first one locked in for the movie. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Martin scored a fat $6 million check to play Detective Marcus Burnett. Will, who hadn't fully blown up yet, got just $2 million for stepping in as Detective Mike Lowry. That's a $4 million gap right there. Serious money talk. But things changed fast as the late 90s and early 2000s rolled in. Will Smith's star started exploding. From action blockbusters to Oscar-worthy drama, he was stacking hits left and right. Meanwhile, even though Bad Boys 2 was supposed to follow the original quickly, the sequel hit roadblocks. Rewrites and production drama pushed it back for 8 whole years. By the time Bad Boys The Sequel finally dropped, Smith was charging top-tier prices. His salary rocketed from $2 million to a wild $20 million. Martin's pay was bumped up too, hitting that same $20 million mark, equal pay, for a minute. But as time went on, things shifted. Martin's big screen momentum started to cool, while Will became Hollywood royalty, headlining major blockbusters nonstop. When Bad Boys for Life hit theaters 17 years after the second one, Smith pulled in a $17 million deal. Martin, just $6 million. That's an $11 million gap. Across the first 3 films, Will raked in $39 million total, while Martin made $32 million. Still solid, but nowhere near what Smith walked away with. Some folks say Smith earned every dollar, but Eddie Murphy had a different take. He believes Martin should have been the franchise's top earner, since he was the one who got the whole thing rolling in the first place.
I'm sorry, Will.
You know what, actually this works out better for me. You know, the slimmies of summer come to class wearing next to nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's all right to be angry.
And get this, way back in the late 80s, Will Smith sat down with his manager James Lasseter and literally mapped out how to become the biggest movie star on the planet. They studied the biggest box office hits, broke down patterns, and built a whole formula for success. This wasn't luck, it was strategy. It was always special effects, Will Smith once said, breaking down the secret formula behind his blockbuster rise. There were always creatures, and there was always a love story. So what did he do? He and his manager started hunting down scripts with all 3, and boom, they locked in back-to-back hits. Independence Day, Men in Black, I, Robot, all dripping in action, sci-fi thrills, and just the right splash of romance. And that strategy, it worked. Will wasn't just acting, he was running the Hollywood game like a business. The Philly-born star wasn't just aiming to be good, he wanted to be unstoppable. He understood that in Tinseltown, likability is power, and for years, he was the king of charm. But then came that night in 2022, the slap heard around the world. At the Oscars, in front of millions, Smith stepped on stage and smacked Chris Rock. And just like that, the whispers started. Is his career done? For a minute, it looked rough. Netflix scrapped his action flick Fast and Loose. His historical drama Emancipation landed with a thud, barely making noise when it dropped on Apple TV.
What can a mere man do to me?
Hollywood hit the brakes on Will Smith, hard, but fans, they weren't done with him. Time passed, and then June 2024 brought the storming return. Bad Boys, Ride or Die. The 4th entry in the beloved franchise with Martin Lawrence blasted out the gate, raking in $104.6 million worldwide in its first week. It smashed expectations and quickly became one of the biggest hits of the year. And get this, the film didn't ignore the slap. Nope, it flipped it into a full-on joke. There's even a scene where Martin's character slaps Will's during a panic attack, turning real-life controversy into on-screen comedy. Audiences clearly showed up with love. They forgave him, loudly. And fans are saying what many believe, Hollywood needs to move on too. Because that Oscar night, that was also the night of Smith's greatest triumph. The moment he finally won the Academy Award he'd chased for years. For his fans, the fall from grace story was always too neat, too convenient. Will Smith didn't just get knocked down. He's proving he knows how to get back up. People say Will Smith threw it all away in one shocking moment. But the truth is a bit more complicated. Sure, he won the Oscar for King Richard, playing the fiercely determined father of tennis legends Venus and Serena. But let's keep it real. While his performance was solid, the film itself felt more like a glossy redemption project than a true Oscar heavyweight.
Venus and Serena.
gonna shake up this world.
I got 1,000,000 miles on me.
Even before the slap, fans had already started questioning his career moves. Like, when was the last great Will Smith movie? Gemini Man in 2019 had wild visuals and a cool concept, but it didn't land right. Focus in 2015, stylish, but too slick for its own good. And Men in Black 3, decent, but nowhere near the magic of the first one. To many, 2007 was the last time Smith felt truly untouchable in Hollywood. That was the year I Am Legend hit big, a gritty, emotional ride that showed him at his best. And don't forget The Pursuit of Happiness, which almost earned him another Oscar. It was his second nomination after Ali, and it showed a depth fans craved. So the fact that Smith's returning for an I Am Legend sequel, even though his character literally died in the first one, speaks volumes. It's like he's reaching back to reclaim that old magic. But through all the ups and downs, there's one thing that hasn't wavered: his bond with Martin Lawrence. For nearly 30 years, these two have stayed tight. And when Bad Boys Ride or Die started filming, their brotherhood was front and center. At a New York City screening hosted by NBA star Carmelo Anthony and the Kid Mero for 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, Smith opened up about a moment that hit him hard.
We're very professional, you know. When we hit the set, we know what we're doing. We don't mess around. Will's about rehearsals. He's all about.
He said on the very first day of shooting, things were hectic. They were producing and starring, wearing multiple hats. Then Martin stopped everything. Hey, hold on, Martin said. Smith looked at him and asked, "What's up?" Martin just stared at him and said, "I love you, brother." And Will tried to brush it off like, yeah, all love, brother. But Martin stopped him again. No. It was one of those real, unfiltered moments, the kind that goes deeper than fame, films, or paychecks. He said, "You know I love you, brother," that Will Smith shared, getting real about a moment that hit him deep. At the time, emotionally, I couldn't take it in, but I was like, "I love you too, man." Then Martin wrapped him in a hug and told him straight up, "We're gonna have fun making this movie. We're not rushing this one." Just like that, he set the tone, calm, real, and focused on the love behind the chaos. Their energy was already in sync when they surprised fans in January 2023, dropping an Instagram video that officially confirmed the Bad Boys 4 announcement. This came after months of whispers that the project might be canned after Will's now infamous Oscar slap in 2022. But nope, the duo made it clear they weren't done yet. Even back in summer 2022, Martin had hope. In an interview with Ebony, he said he still had at least one more Bad Boys chapter in him, showing he wasn't ready to walk away from the franchise they'd built together. Fast forward to May 30th. At the Ride or Die premiere in Los Angeles, Smith and Lawrence hit the red carpet with their families and longtime producer Jerry Bruckheimer. And while the movie was center stage, the vibe was pure comedy behind the scenes. Martin joked,
"It's also a great family night. Everybody, the families are here. What does it mean to have that family support out here tonight?"
Oh, that's nothing but love.
Yeah. It was beautiful seeing our kids together.
Yeah.
He likes to rehearse all the time, poking fun at Will's workaholic habits. Will shot back with a laugh. Martin never takes 2 sips out of a water bottle. He chugs the whole thing in one go every time. Little things like that show these guys still crack each other up almost 30 years later. And with Ride or Die smashing box office expectations, people are already buzzing about Bad Boys 5. Is it happening? Smith and Lawrence say they're open to it, but there's a catch. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, both stars made it clear they're down to return if the fans want more, but they also joked that it might be time to dial back the crazy stunts. These legends have been running and jumping for decades. They're ready to pass on some of that action, unless the next one's got more explosions and fewer chase scenes. Either way, the door's wide open, and the Bad Boys just might ride again. The Bad Boys franchise still pulls in crowds like no other, and Ride or Die might just be the biggest one yet. The latest installment already crushed it with over $105 million worldwide during its opening weekend alone. If this momentum keeps up, it could even pass Bad Boys for Life's $426.5 million total and claim the crown as the highest grossing movie in the series. That's a massive win and a bright sign for what could come next. Let's be real, Hollywood's been struggling lately. Summer 2024 kicked off on a rocky note with high-profile releases like Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, and The Fall Guy failing to hit their box office targets. But then Bad Boys, Ride or Die, swooped in and flipped the narrative. Not only did it over-deliver, but it also dropped at the perfect time. No major competition for weeks. The next big genre rival, Deadpool and Wolverine, but that's not landing until the end of July. That gives Ride or Die a clear runway to stack even more cash and build on its momentum.
Okay, last thing. Does this make you want to do a 5?
You know, we're gonna keep going to the Bad Boys Ride or Die. So we'll go till the wheels fall off. We go till the wheels fall off. So
We'll see you there. Roll it up in your wheelchair.
Now, while Bad Boys 5 isn't officially greenlit yet, all signs are pointing toward it happening. If Ride or Die keeps dominating, you better believe a 5th chapter is coming. It'll all depend on Will Smith and Martin Lawrence's schedules. And let's not forget, they've been in this game for decades, so age and stamina are definitely part of the conversation. Still, both stars have said they're open to keeping the ride going. And with legacy director Michael Bay even making a cameo this time around, the energy is still strong behind the scenes. But while the movie's launch was all fire and celebration, some fans have raised concern about Martin Lawrence's health during a May 2024 interview with Extra TV. Some viewers noticed he was slurring his words and stumbling a bit. That moment stirred conversation, especially when fans saw him gently holding Will Smith's hand during the red carpet premiere in Los Angeles. It was a touching sight, but it also sparked speculation about whether something more serious might be going on. Still, none of that has slowed the buzz. If anything, it's brought even more attention to the film. And if the box office numbers keep climbing, Bad Boys 5 might just be around the corner. Fans have been buzzing with concern about Martin Lawrence's health, especially after recent interviews sparked speculation online. But the man himself shut it all down. During a June 2024 appearance on Hot 97's Ebro in the Morning, Martin made it crystal clear he's good, real good.
Fine. I'm in God's hands. I'm blessed. You know, I'm glad to be waking up every day and everything. No need for people to be concerned. And I'm healthy as hell.
I'm fine. I'm in God's hands, the Blue Streak legend said. I'm blessed. I'm glad to be waking up every day. I'm all good. No need for people to be concerned. That message was direct, and Martin's way of putting the rumors to rest once and for all. Some fans may remember that this isn't the first time health concerns have circled around Lawrence. Back in August 1999, he faced a serious medical scare after jogging near his home in Westlake Village. He collapsed from heat exhaustion and fell into a coma that lasted 3 days. Doctors rushed him to Los Robles Regional Medical Center, and while his condition was reported as critical at first, he pulled through and recovered. That moment left a lasting impression. So it's no surprise that fans get worried when they see anything unusual now. But in 2024, Martin's standing tall and telling folks not to stress. He's still here, still working, and still laughing. And speaking of strong connections, there's another reason Eddie Murphy has always stood by Martin. They're basically family now. That's right. Martin Lawrence's daughter, Jasmine, is in a full-blown relationship with Eddie Murphy's son, Eric. These two comedy legends have real-life ties that go beyond the big screen. Jasmine and Eric first went public in June 2021, and by early 2022, Jasmine spilled a few sweet details in an In Touch weekly interview.
My uncle actually introduced us. It wasn't even our dads, and they've done 2 movies together. They're friends. Like, I don't even know. It's crazy, but we met through my uncle, and you know, we became really good friends. We bonded on a...
Surprisingly, it wasn't their famous dads who played matchmaker. Jasmine made it clear their relationship came together without the help of their movie star parents. Still, both Lawrence and Murphy have joked around about the future, including the wedding. In a June 2022 appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live, Martin cracked a classic line saying, "If the kids do get married, I'm gonna try to get Eddie to pay for the wedding." That moment had fans roaring and showed how tight the bond between these two Hollywood icons really is. Whether it's family, films, or just friendship, the Lawrence-Murphy connection runs deep. That's not how it goes, Eddie Murphy joked when asked about Martin Lawrence's wedding comment during a February 2023 interview with Canadian outlet E-Talk. Laughing, he added, "My daughter just got married and I had to pay. I really had to pay. So Martin, you're doing the same." Classic Eddie, quick with the clapback. Since going public, Jasmine Lawrence and Eric Murphy haven't been shy about showing each other love online. Their Instagrams have been sprinkled with sweet tributes and cozy couple pics that have fans all in their feelings. Eric was the first to take their relationship public, dropping a sweet selfie in June 2021 and tagging Jasmine. "Head over heels in love with you at Jasmine Lawrence," he wrote in the caption. That one post officially let the world know that this wasn't just a casual thing. These two were locked in. Jasmine followed up the next month in July 2021 with her own shout out. She posted a cute photo of the two of them for Eric's birthday, using it as her first public acknowledgement of their love. "Happy birthday, my love," she wrote. "I'm so incredibly blessed to know you, to love you, and to have you by my side. Cheers to many more blessings, laughs, and beautiful memories. I love you so much." A week later, Eric posted a cheerful clip from his birthday bash, surrounded by friends and family, smiling wide as he blew out his candles. He made sure to credit Jasmine for capturing the moment behind the camera, tagging her with a little camera emoji. "Thank you all for the birthday wishes, love number 32, he added in the caption. Then in January 2022, Eric went all out for Jasmine's 26th birthday. He dropped a heartfelt message on Instagram that melted hearts everywhere. "Happy birthday, beautiful," he wrote. "Thank you for being such a blessing in my life. I am so fortunate to experience your unconditional love." It was one of those messages that shows just how serious things are between them, way beyond surface level couple goals. Between the love notes, birthday shout-outs, and family ties to two of comedy's biggest legends, Jasmine and Eric's relationship is pure Hollywood royalty, but with a whole lot of realness. "You've made my life better than I ever thought it could be," Eric Murphy wrote in one of his most heartfelt messages to Jasmine Lawrence. "You embody everything I ever prayed for in a significant other. Keep shining your bright light on the world. I am so incredibly proud of you. Thank you for being the best girlfriend of all time. I love you at Jasmine Lawrence." Their bond is deep, and it was on full display again in April last year when Martin Lawrence received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Jasmine and Eric showed up front and center to celebrate Martin's huge moment, and afterward, Eric took to Instagram with a powerful tribute of his own. "From the moment I met you at Martin Lawrence, I knew you were not just one of the funniest and most talented actors out there. You're also an incredible father," he wrote. "Your unconditional love and support for Jasmine helped shape her into the strong, beautiful, compassionate woman she is today, and the amazing partner she is to me." Eric continued, "I'll always be grateful for the way you raised her and the way you continue to be a pillar of strength to everyone around you. Congrats on your star. You deserve all the honor and recognition that comes with it. We love you." Yeah, it's bigger than just Hollywood with this crew. It's legacy, it's family. And with that kind of bond between Martin and Eddie, it's no wonder fans are begging for Bad Boys 5. The hype is real, the love is solid, and we're all just waiting for that next big announcement to drop. So if you've been riding with us through the ups, the throwbacks, and the behind-the-scenes stories, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Let us know if you want another Bad Boys sequel or what your favorite moment has been from the franchise so far. Share this with your friends, spread the word, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.